what is it that you think that it's hurting South Africa? Because it's another ICC event, another knockout stage, going out of the knockout. What do you think was a factor that went against you guys today? Was it that like the last 10 overs, that the amount of run New Zealand scored, or was it?
I don't think it was any one particular thing that resulted in the loss. Probably a couple. We could have handled the last 10 overs a little bit better. They got away from us a little bit. There was a period sort of in the middle of the innings where Kane and Rachin started to sort of up the rate a bit. And we missed a few opportunities there where we could have slowed things down. And then obviously the partnership that got broken when we were batting. We were just starting to get going, and that partnership got broken and really slowed us down in the middle. And obviously we saw Dave play unbelievably well in the end to get 100, and then you lose by 50, and you're just one partnership away from doing something special.
Rob, Keshev's usually really good in the middle overs at reining an opposition side in, but Rachin and Kane really seem to target him through that middle phase. Do you think potentially that is a bit of a sliding doors moment? Because obviously Mitch Santner in the second innings was quite good through that middle phase.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think they played particularly well against Keshev. I think the ball did spin a little bit more in the second innings, which would have contributed to that. But as I said, I thought they played him very well. Kesh is a world-class bowler, we know that. So to put him under pressure and sort of turn the tide a little bit there, change the flow of the game. So we have to commend the two world-class batters batting together and played particularly well.
Would you have batted first as well if you wanted to?
Yeah, we would have batted first.
Well, tough luck, another semi-final, another defeat. You guys fought well. I wanted to ask you that after losing the toss, don't you think you guys didn't have plan B? Because the way Rachin and Kane Williamson, they were playing, they were so smooth, no hassles, the ball was coming nicely over the bat, and looked like that didn't have a plan B or plan C?
No, I don't think that's entirely accurate. We certainly, we tried to change up. We tried to change the pace. I think the ball wasn't really gripping at that stage in the early phases, so the ball kept sliding on. I mean, it was plain to see there was a pretty good batting wicket. I don't think you can score 360 if it's not a good batting wicket. And yeah, so through no lack of effort, I don't think. I mean, we'd spoken about our options if it was a good wicket, which we knew it would be. And whilst, yes, we could bemoan our execution a little bit, certainly you'll never question the effort of the guys. And we sort of threw whatever we could at them, but unfortunately, we couldn't break that partnership, which really set them up to push towards the end.
Do you think Bavuma and Rassie is comparatively slow in cost Africa the match?
No, if you look at the comparative scores along the way for the first... we were only, I think, 4 runs behind at the 20-over mark, and the same at 30. So I don't think their partnership cost us. We see the tempo of the game at these grounds tends to be like that. It's a good, stable partnership at the start. The run rate sort of increases gradually, and then there's a burst at the end. So, I mean, we just lost a few key wickets in the middle. If we managed to maintain a strong partnership there, I think it would have been a pretty tight finish. So, yeah, comparatively, if you look at the first 20 overs, there was nothing that separated the two teams.
If you compare the spin bowling attacks of the both teams, so New Zealand spin bowling was really good, but African couldn't ball spin good too much. So, is it only the toss factor that the second bowling was supposed to be good in spell, or you feel that New Zealand's spin attack was good rather than Africans?
I mean, I think you have to acknowledge the black cap spinners have bowled well for the whole competition thus far. Michael Bracewell sort of slides under the radar, but I think it was just 2 games ago that he bowled 10 overs for 24, took 4 wickets. So, and then Mitch Santner is a quality operator. So, I mean, the two of them working together, mind you, their run rates were still up there. The ball did spin a bit more though in the second innings, no doubt about that. And so, a bit of conditions, but also hats off to their quality as well.
We're just going to take one here, and then we've just got two from Kazi, then we do need to go to Rattles to bring up.
Coach, hard luck today, but what are the positives which you are going to take back home, and how's the hospitality throughout this tournament and the arrangements, especially in Pakistan?
We've had a wonderful time in Pakistan. I think it's been a great tournament, great to spend time here. The hospitality has been amazing, and we've been treated exceptionally well. So I certainly leave Pakistan with fond memories of this tournament. I think there's been positives along the way. We've seen different guys step up. Champions Trophy is such a short tournament to think about. We actually only played 2 games to get to the semis. It feels like we've been here a while and we've only played 2 matches. So I think as a team we played really well today. It wasn't our best day out there. We acknowledge that, and we're up front with that. But we still saw some contributions from an old wise head who's just come in to score 100, which is awesome to see. Rassie van Dussen again was outstanding, 3 consecutive 50s in the competition. And I thought our bowlers toiled. It's not easy to bowl in those conditions in the day. I thought they did their level best to try and restrict the guys to a total that we could chase down. So we've done well. The 2 games that we won convincingly. And we did well with bat and ball and fielded exceptionally well. Our conversion rate was second in the competition. So, a lot to smile about, but certainly very disappointing to lose tonight.
Thanks, Rob. A couple of questions from back home. What do you think the team has done right in this tournament so far in terms of building up towards 2027? And what do you think those lessons are going forward?
Excuse me. I think I've just answered it then. In the wins, we managed to put some significant partnerships together. We had guys contributing significantly with the bat. From a bowling point of view, I think our biggest development was our accuracy. We were able to be very accurate as a seam unit, and that's something that we've been working really hard on. Every game we play is a learning opportunity, and we just keep trying to take the little lessons. Today is a hard lesson. You feel it a little bit more because it's the end of a campaign. But we certainly continue to keep learning from things, little bits here and there that we can do better. We're still evolving as a team, there's no doubt in my mind. 2.5 years to 2027, and that's the eyes on the prize.
And just reflecting on the tournament as a whole and the group that you were in, how do you feel you guys fared against all of your opponents?
People I think referred to our pool as a pool of death because of the strength of the competition in it. We saw Afghanistan beat England and play exceptionally well. Australia obviously the other side to get through. We really missed not playing them in our second game. I think that would have been an excellent competitive match there, but we did what we had to do in the 2 games in the pool rounds, I think, and won convincingly well and played some seriously good cricket. So it was just a bad day to have a bad day today.
Thanks very much, Rob.